This is Power Talk at the World Islamic Economic Forum Roundtable, Kota Kinabalu, Sabah 2020. I'm here with Christy Owen, Chief of Party, USAID, Green Invest Asia. Christy, in your session, you mentioned that 26% of companies believe that the biggest challenge for agri-food in the next decade is climate change and degradation. In your professional opinion, what can Sabah do to combat resources degradation while still being able to pursue its 2025 vision of becoming a resources-based manufacturing location of choice for Asia?
Well, thank you. First, thank you very much for allowing me to be here. I think it's an important question. Sabah is moving from this a history of some fairly severe deforestation, degradation. We heard about that a little bit earlier. But have put into place a forest policy in 2018 that is kind of that great foundation for moving into a sustainable pathway in relation to commodities that are key here, rubber, palm, cacao. A couple things that we would think about and recommend would be looking at things like investing in restoration and replanting, specifically around diversifying from timber and palm, starting to, second, prioritize natural habitat as these buffer areas for larger scale infrastructure development, city development, economic growth. So protecting those remaining forests, maximizing productivity of existing plantations and farms through using things like efficient fertilizers, better use of inputs, moving towards kind of genetic models, using technology for the benefit of agriculture and forestry. We also would recommend and think about intercropping. There is some discussion a lot around the impact on farmers. Certainly any type of large-scale agriculture that has a long lifetime for harvesting has the potential to impact the cash flow of the farmers. And so thinking about strategies to intercrop to help, again, diversify and solidify that base so that all are lifted up by development.
You know, it's always benchmarking and looking at what others has done well. Sharing is caring. So, like in the session, what is Thailand, for example, doing, if you can elucidate that a bit more, to go on this path of managing resources but yet being at the fulcrum of industrialization and maybe the fourth industrial revolution?
Right. Well, the ASEAN region is definitely very diverse and a lot of examples to draw from and different choices that were made for development. With the Thai government, they have a theme around regenerative agriculture, regeneration of agriculture, with an emphasis on lowering carbon emissions and also stressing an end to agricultural burning. But there's a lot of challenges with enforcement, and that's not unusual. The challenge that everybody faces. But what's, I think, interesting in Thailand, and again, kind of a reference to the changing context that we live in, the changing global environment, is that there's a very intensive consumer interest, a younger population, consumer interest, and a local market for sustainable goods and services. So perhaps, you know, as Sabah moves towards their sustainability goals, thinking about creating itself as a sustainable marketplace, what might be able to put them kind of above and beyond other players in the market, like Kampot pepper out of Cambodia or Gayo coffee out of Indonesia.
How do you see Malaysia, of course via Sabah, can help create a sustainable future, and maybe what should be done first to ensure that?
This is not an easy question to answer. As you know, it's incredibly complex and challenging. I think one of the things we've talked about is the importance of diversity of people, the importance of diversity of stakeholders, you know, getting governments, civil society, academics, private sector, finance, all involved. And then the diversity of commodities, moving away from monocropping, moving away from a one commodity marketplace. Certainly infrastructure and technology go hand in hand with being able to do that, and thinking about the partnerships that need to happen among government with the private sector, and even within private sector and donors. We through USAID Green Invest Asia, for example, have supported a Malaysian company, the acacia forest industry, with a partnership between their investor, the Dutch, USAID Green Invest Asia, and the company itself to put into place a training program that would help elevate the sustainable operations of their plantation.
Thank you so much, Christy Owen, Chief of Party, USAID Green Invest Asia. This has been Power Talk at the World Islamic Economic Forum Roundtable, Kota Kinabalu, Sabah.